Good morning, pregame crew. It is Friday, August 12th, 8:25 a.m. Eastern, 6:25 a.m. Mountain Time. I'm Chargal Lori, and I'm having a morning. I'm sorry about my small delay in getting started, and especially for missing y'all yesterday. I do have a question. Do any of you have Starlink, and do you like it? Does it work well? Thinking about getting an internet backup so yesterday doesn't happen again. But let's get on to today and what we're going to talk about, the indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. I need an audio visual check, please. And if you're tuning in later in the day, well, just stay here. You don't need to fast forward. Let's just chitty chat. I'm going to say hi to my friends. I don't know if I'm going to have time for chart requests this morning, and I will rip through about 25 charts in 25 minutes, and I will use your time efficiently. I promise. Good morning, Greg, Night Truck, and Topher, Andre, Micro, Willowpuff, Robert, Andre, Casey, Craig, Samwise, Basque, my girl Lori, Bobo, my dude Bennett, hey Lisa, Michelle, Mark, Joey, Neb, Mary, Whitney, Andre, I missed all of y'all. Hey Bobby, hey South Africa Rogue, that sounds so cool. Thanks Lori. Got Mr. SB Local, thanks Night Truck, thanks Roger. Really, Michelle? That's good to know. Thank you. Hey, TME. Oh, thanks, Basque. See, I needed y'all. I just need your help. What's up, Brian? LeBlanc. My son is LeBlanc. That's my last married name. I've had a few names. Good morning, Amir. Good morning. Let me go up and see if I have any chart requests that I can do really quick. XLF. And I'm glad to see all of you here. And I just want to do a small shout out to the women that are here. This is a very male dominated industry that we're in. And I enjoy my community. I don't feel like I am treated any differently. I'm respected just as much as the men are. But it's just really cool to see all the women here today. So welcome. And men, thank you for being part of this community. And yeah, the pregame crew is a community. Okay, XLF, we have a double top up here, 35.23. You know what though? That could be a cup and handle. A little clearer on the hourly. Looks like a potential cup and handle. Very strong. And you can make simple statements like, as long as the hourly EMAs are below, price bulls are large and in charge. Now, just for comparison, so get eyes fixated on these EMAs, how they're separated, pointing up. And now look at this one. We are fighting the EMAs even worse. Tesla, we're below the EMAs. So think about XLF and its strength. Now, it may need to take a breather today. So that's very possible. It's been carrying us for a couple days. So know that. Yes, girl power, boy power, all the power. Good morning. Okay, XBI, and it's 6:28. I'll get started in 2 minutes. XBI is actually on my list this morning as a short, top fishing the pre-market high. Let's go to 15 minutes. Is there another level? 91.51, 91.71. So we were unable. We had this daily resistance over here of 95.10. Yesterday we hit 95.18. 8 cents on a $95 instrument does not a bull break make. So we did not get a bull break. I would consider that a double top at this point. So deleted that 91.71. Let's get that back up there. So 91.71, 91.51 in that area. A more conservative bull will wait for a larger bounce up to 92.48 or 92.84. Y'all are all up in my brain. Look at Matt. Look, I got SDC on the list too. You see it? I got SDC and XBI. SDC is a tight 4-hour inside bars that are breaking bull. Your next resistance, 185. All right, it's 6:30. Let's get started. Good morning. This is who I am. I'm Chargal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis. And next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing a futures webinar. This is the first futures webinar I've ever done for TCG, for public, for anybody. So this will be open to the public. You must sign up. You can sign up here at this link. Actually, I'm going to go put the link right now. Here. You're going to give me a follow on Twitter at ChartGalLori. That would be appreciated too. And if you have time and you get something out of this video, even if it's something not to do, either way, if you could hit that like button, I would appreciate it. All right. We're going to get started with the indices, and here's some key levels. I have not looked, shame on me, I've not looked at the economic events calendar today. Let me go to the whiteboard real quick. It's in our community. Oh, import, export, nothing big whatsoever. So here are the levels on ES if you need them, but I want to get started with this FinViz chart. I love this chart. So on FinViz, this is free. You don't have to have a whatever subscription to FinViz to use their screener, their maps. A lot of the functionality on this platform, you don't have to be a member, and it's very powerful. So this is the heat map, and you can go over here and say, okay, so this is what it looked like yesterday. And it's divided into sectors, and some of it call it a carpet or something carpet. But it basically shows you what sectors are strong. Yesterday it was energy. Consumer discretionary was having a really rough day. Communications was having a rough day, but not entertainment. Technology was having a rough day, but not the banks. So it's just a nice visual. Well, what's really cool is you can go over here and change this to tell me how something has performed the last week. How has something performed the last month, 3 months, even a year? It's pretty cool. So I was looking at this yesterday and I noticed Amazon was at 27% over the last month, 1 month performance. So Amazon is on my list for a short. It's partly due to this, but of course the technical setup is the most important thing to me. I just think it's really cool. Hey, Michael, I'll try to get to that. Your Ann Bask. Let me add your request to the end so I can get to it. Bingo, AMC, Musa, ABNB. Okay, I'll try to get to those 4 at the end. How about that? All right, so here is the prevalent pattern. I do have notes, and I provide those to the TCG members. Once I wrap up, I copy and paste them. So if you're a TCG member, you will get those. And on days like, I'm going to delete all this. These lines are driving me crazy. And on days like yesterday where I'm unable to stream, I still created the notes. I did the chart prep and I shared everything with TCG members. So just know that even if I'm not having a show, TCG members still get the data. All right, we have a potential 2-hour diamond bearish reversal pattern. A potential diamond bearish reversal pattern. And it's really clear on ES, NASDAQ, and YM. Do y'all see it? So the characteristics of a diamond bearish reversal pattern, you get higher high, higher low, higher high, straight to a lower low, bounce, and this depth of this retracement is just, it's a lot. I'm not going to say it's too much. NASDAQ could definitely go take it out, especially with a news catalyst, but it would be very difficult for these bulls to go take out that high. So 13408 is your resistance. And so we're looking for, it could tighten up over here and EQ out, but the typical way that this resolves is to the downside. It doesn't mean that it absolutely will resolve to the downside, but it has me looking more bearish today than bullish. RTY is different. It's still, it's not a diamond pattern, so I can't even say that. Did I type that in my notes? Yeah, I did. I'm deleting that. Because that is definitely not a diamond pattern. Okay, so RTY is the strongest. And look, we're holding the 8 EMAs. And despite my bearish lean today, look at this. These bulls are holding the EMAs just fine. No big deal here. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Bulls, 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 bulls. So on VIX, okay, we've already broken bear out of that. Delete it. So we have enough room for a 4-hour higher, 2-hour higher low and 4-hour higher low. We have enough room. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to get it. That we were looking at this Wednesday morning, how 50 RSI could serve as resistance. And I was showing you this rising wedge. Definitely resolved to the downside, which was good for market bulls. That market's bouncing just a little bit here, but we have enough room for a higher low. So if VIX is able to pull off a higher low here, that would be a headwind for the market. But we are in 4-hour downtrends. On VIX, we're in hourly downtrends. Bears have control of this chart, which is good for stock market bulls. All right. So ES, did I give you those levels, or have I just been talking the whole time and didn't say levels? Let me do that for you. I just like the 2-hour today, so I know I'm changing time frame, but I just need clarity, and this one gives me clarity. So you have resistance at 423750 and 426050. You have support at 420825, 420275. You like the way I say higher high? Yeah, I have to put my country down a little bit. When we say long vowels, it's ice machine, or yeah, high. But I try to just kind of tame that so everyone can understand me. All right, Hang Seng was slightly green overnight, 0.46. DAX is bouncing a little bit here, bouncing more than when I was looking at it yesterday. And Bitcoin is the fly in the ointment for bulls. Bitcoin is the fly in the ointment for market bulls. It has resolved to the downside. So if we look at that same time frame, so if we're looking at the ES 2-hour time frame, which we just did, and I showed you the diamond pattern, and we look at Bitcoin, we just broke this neckline. We broke 23771, next support 23484. It broke bearishly where the markets have not. So Bitcoin is leading the way down. Is Bitcoin our canary? So I have, let me just type this over here. Okay, so I have a little bit of glimmer of hope for bears, for market bears. Bitcoin, 2-hour lower low. Is it our canary? VIX has enough room for a 4-hour higher low. And we have the 2-hour diamond bearish reversal pattern on indices. I'm going to copy and paste this over to my notes for TCG members. All right, so that is the glimmer of hope for market bears. So if I had to say, here's the 3 things really jumping out at me, and then I'm going to skip Ethereum just for a second, and Apple. Apple is more hope for market bears, because what are the odds that we would take out 17099 from where we are? Let's see. It's not terribly far away. I guess it's not terribly far away. How much should we retrace? Yeah, it's still healthy. I thought I was going to give you the bears more of a glimmer of hope, but look, we're holding those hourly EMAs just fine. And look at that 8 EMA kind of curling up. Those curls tell us a lot. Look at the curl here. Do you see how they started just pointing up the SOTIMA, slope of the EMA? Well, I don't know if you can see behind that candle. Let me see, get it clear. But do you see that little kink right there in that EMA? That's bullish. And it's holding the hourly 50 RSI. This is definitely 2 checks for market bulls. Check, check. So we're next resistance is 16969 pre-market, and then 170.99, and support 16819. Market bears want to see Apple reject and do not take out yesterday's high of day, and then get some healthy consolidation going. Okay, back to Ethereum. Let me see, AR, great point. I looked at dollar this morning, but that was a couple of hours ago. Yeah, it's bouncing nicely. And we have enough room for a 4-hour higher low. So yes, that is the 4th point in favor for market bears. Glimmer of hope. But regardless of the glimmer of hope that I paint, whatever chart you're looking at, let's type it. If hourly EMAs are supporting price, don't fight those bulls. I wouldn't anyway, because the hourly EMAs are our guide. Now let's get back to Ethereum. You're late, Derek. Okay. Bright lines. I love chart guys. Right at 25 times. Okay, so Ethereum. Ethereum is much stronger than Bitcoin. Let me flip back over to Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin has lost the hourly EMAs and the hourly 50 MA, and we're in a downtrend. Look at Ethereum. We're fighting to hold the hourly 50 MA, and we've only barely lost those EMAs. So definitely been more sideways action. We lost this 1857. We hit 1850.51. Map that out. And then below that is 1803. Nope. The 1803.45 is your next support below the low overnight of 1850.51. Your next resistance is up at 1904.73 and 1914.98. So Ethereum is definitely stronger than Bitcoin. I always like to find price, and I think I've shared before on the driving test where you find a stationary object and you count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi to make sure you're not tailgating, and you benchmark it against something else. And that's what I like to do with EMAs. And I say, okay, which one is healthier? Let's say I don't want to do fib retrace. I don't want to do all that. I just want to eyeball it. Look at that 21 EMA and look how far price is from that 21 EMA. Look at Ethereum, same time frame, and we're at the 21 EMA. Ethereum is definitely stronger and has plenty of room for a weekly high or low if the bulls see fit. Let's look at gold. Okay. So gold, we are at the weekly 21 EMA. We cleared all these moving averages, but I think I put in my notes this morning, it kind of looks stagnant up here. It could be a daily bull flag, but when I just kind of looked at lower time frames compared to the dollar, what did I say? Let's go see what I said. On commodities or gold, monthly uptrend, weekly, daily's holding its EMAs, and I said it kind of looks stagnant up here, but it is consolidating in time versus price. But then when I really drilled down to the lower time frames, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Dollar's pretty strong right now, and gold's holding up. That's actually pretty constructive for the gold bulls to hold up in light of the Dixie strength on lower time frames. So Paul, if you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the video description below, and it has a link, and you can sign up to receive a PDF of all of my different moving averages. And even better, on our YouTube channel, we have a video how to set up your chart like Dan or Lori. So I would definitely encourage you to check that out, but I'll answer it today. So the red and green are the 8 and 21 EMA. I like 8 and 21 because 8 and 21, the numbers are part of the Fibonacci math series and occur more often in nature through statistics and Mr. Fibonacci himself. And I use the simple 50 MA and 200 MA because those are the boomer indicators. They've been around for a long time, and you'll find that institutions, you depend on those indicators. So if SPY loses the daily 200 MA, for example, a lot of algos program, they sell because that is the sign of bearishness. So that's why I use what I use. Okay, back to gold. Gold, we lost the support over here of 1800. We hit 1799. And then we're bouncing. These gold bulls are not giving up. And so even though I made that comment, it looks stagnant, I then clarified later saying, well, we're consolidating in time versus price. So it calms down the RSI on lower time frames and goes sideways, and that just gives bulls a chance to catch their breath, but they're not losing ground while they're taking a break. So pretty constructive for now. Oil, good morning, Recon. How are you? No problem, Paul. Oil, we're inside yesterday's range. Dan has been pointing out the falling wedge. If you are looking for a position in oil, I would look for a pullback buy compared to 87.66, trying to nail that daily higher low. We are at the 200 MA from below, and that tends to serve as strong resistance on the first test. So I'm looking for a pullback buy in oil. This is my number one watch in commodities. Nat gas had a beautiful day yesterday on inventory. It's so important to know these things if you're trading commodities. We put a big emphasis on technical analysis, but these fundamental news events, I don't need to know how many barrels of inventory they have below, above, whatever. I don't even need to know that, but I need to know what time it happens because volatility picks up and volume picks up. We hit 8259 yesterday on the inventory reaction, and then we proceeded to go 9%. Nat gas is a very volatile instrument, and it's a wonderful instrument to trade as long as you understand the inherent risk with trading it. You have a double top here at 878. Those are usually good levels to top fish. If we go out to the daily, that 8994, was it the 4 hour? Here, let me put a price label so you can see it. 899, and yesterday we hit 8994, and it was a perfect double top fish. Well, that's kind of where we are right now on the hourly. We have a double top at 8782. So we are holding hourly 50 RSI where we have an uptick in bull volume. I still like that as a top fish level. You may get stopped out quickly, but it could work. All right, we went over Apple, so I'm not going to go over that again. Amazon. So Amazon is much weaker than Apple. And I was saying it's up almost 27% over the last month. You have resistance up at, let's just call it 142 and support at 13976. Do you have any levels from the 15-minute? Yeah. 142.43. Amazon is a top fish candidate for me today because of its weakness compared to its peers. Nvidia is a top fish candidate in comparison to its peers because of its weakness and relative underperformance. Nvidia had the news earlier this week that they were anticipating $8 billion at their earnings at the end of this month, but yet they got it down. They think it's going to be $6 billion and change because of the gaming division underperforming. That is fundamental overhead that can weigh on price. And I've been covering this Wednesday morning. I am looking for this daily head and shoulders. Well, I think we are at a great point to potentially top fish. This is a top watch for me. So I'm looking for a top fish against yesterday's high. And on the 15-minute, you have another level here at 182.54 and 183.79. Now, I'm not saying this fundamental news will easily bring down Nvidia. Same thing with Tesla. They have fundamental news that's bearish, but the actual technical performance has been underperforming the market. So I'm going to stay with that trade as long as it works. So I think I'm funny. On Tesla, I put in my notes, splits happening August 25th per Trading View. Elon's stock sales are still weighing on this name. It's a short for me, dog. It's a short for me. Nvidia and Tesla are a short for me because it keeps freaking working. You have resistance at 871, 87494, 87594. Kids, if you're listening, frick is a bad word. Support 86450 and 85750. So I am looking to short Tesla. Now, it does have that split. So we have competing bearish and bullish news. Typically, names run into a split, even though it fundamentally doesn't change the stock. But I think the stockholders are getting a little tired of this dog and pony show, or this trick that Elon keeps doing with these splits. And of course, he sold $7 billion worth of stock earlier this week, it was reported. So looking to top fish Tesla. Bank of America. I'm going to keep these simple. These four names, the four names I had, BAC, IWM, SDC, and XBI, I don't feel super strongly about them like I do Tesla bearish, but Bank of America is very strong. It got the bull break it's been looking for. Look at this gap up. We filled this gap over here and a strong push up. So I like Bank of America for a long first 5-minute oversold back burner. So tell me when RSI gets to 30. IWM. So if you've been around these parts a while, you know I love my 200 MA and my 50 MA. Look at this 200 MA right here. Look at this extension. We're overbought on the daily. We did get a weekly trend change. Bull break, no trend change. But we are in a clear monthly downtrend. So let's back up. In TCG, what we teach and what Dan teaches is when you're in a monthly uptrend, scout monthly higher low when daily's oversold. Well, wouldn't the reverse be true? When you're in a monthly downtrend, scouting a monthly lower high, look for daily overbought. I guess I do feel strongly about this one today. So IWM has definitely been leading the charge up, but we are overbought on the daily in a monthly downtrend, sitting at this ever important daily 200 MA, and 200 MA happens to be at 200 psychological. We hit 19953 yesterday. I like this for a top fish. 198 is resistance. And of course, the market has to cooperate. We need to see some weakness in the market. And I'm going to go back and I'm talking out both sides of my mouth because I told y'all earlier, as long as those hourly EMAs are holding, stay the course bullish. Well, these bears are fighting here. If we could break that low of day, we could get some good follow through on IWM. So IWM and Tesla are definitely my top two watches today. So I'll be changing MARA up here to IWM. That was from yesterday. I was watching it. No trade. Okay. SDC. The 4-hour bull break's already happened, so that's kind of a bummer. But we did not get through $1.85. It just had this nice range here. And anytime we get these nice range, it's 25% bounce on a name like SDC, which has a lot of shorts on it. It's just kind of fun. So I'm not going to trade this one at all today. I like this trade setup a lot less now. XBI, top fish. Look at this weakness. What are the odds that we would go take out the high of yesterday? And I covered this earlier. 95.18 is a double top with 95.10. I would look for a top fish, and your 15-minute levels are up here. They're in the light gray over here on the legend. If you are key, I'm going to write those down. It's a short for me, dog. That's right. Frickin' frack. All right, now I'm going to look at the chart request from earlier. I need to always remember to write it over here. It helps me stay in order because I don't try to play favorites, and I feel like when I skip y'all's requests, some of y'all get upset with me, but I don't do it on purpose. You have resistance at 383, 435. You have support at 334, double bottom on the hourly, 318. The low of yesterday, 305. So when y'all ask me about a name, the first thing I do in my head is, what are they looking at? Are they looking for a top fish, a long? I'm trying to think why you're looking at it. And with this name, no setup for me. This is one heck of a range yesterday. 50% bounce and pullback. So let's do the fibs on that. So the retrace, we're right at the golden pocket retrace of 340. Odds favor, we stay in this range all day. It's just not a trade setup for me. AMC looks strong this morning. It was my number one name for volume when I looked at the scan. This is constructive. Rounded bottom, super constructive. So it could be forming a 4-hour cup and handle over here, but your short-term resistance, 26.59, 26.90, 27.50, and you have support at 25.83 and 25.80. So here, this is a no trade area for me as well. So on the hourly, we're overbought. We've been going straight up. We're approaching resistance, high volume. Look at that 15-minute EMAs. I can't short it up here, and I can't go long. I can't short this bull strength, and I can't go long up here. So it's a tough trade setup for me. MUSA. Gas station. Volume. Okay, volume. I can tell by these wicks they didn't have great liquidity. On the daily, it has an inside bar. You have resistance at 290.69, support 282.32. Holding the daily EMA just fine. Most likely a weekly bull flag. Yep. Very strong. Very, very strong. Have a very tight range here. Super tight range. When we have a base break of this range, you should get some nice follow through, whichever way it breaks, to the upside or downside. But that looks really nice. That's a nice tight squeeze. Look at that. Holding 50 RSI. My bias is to the upside as long as it's holding this 50 RSI. Airbnb. 125.51. Okay, we broke that yesterday, but with a big upper wick of profit taking. Yep, short for me, dog. Resistance 123.54. Support 121.50, 120.96. Yeah, that's a top fish for me. That's a short. Gave up way too much yesterday. You're welcome. So do y'all see? Let's see if I can do. So we have Beyond, XBI, An Airbnb. Let me see if I can make. Y'all see this? I do this often when I try to find correlations, is I'll put the chart side by side. Look at this. Now, when we looked at Apple, did it look like this? No. Amazon? No. These are, and what three areas, or what area are these three names in? Airbnb, Beyond, and XBI, growth. They're in the growth sector. Growth saw a surge of strength yesterday at open and then gave it all back. So definitely didn't hold up stronger than other names. So growth is still an area to look to short. I think Dan was mentioning this morning, CGC. Get out of that view. Yeah, CGC, look at that pullback. Y'all see how they all look alike? So growth names definitely took a punch to the mouth yesterday, and that's another reason I'm looking to short IWM. It didn't give as much back as those other names we just looked at, but I still like that, the short setup anyway. Hey, all right, that's it for me. I'm going to go listen. I don't know who's live today. I'm assuming Jason. Nope, it's Denzi. Denzi's live, so I'm going to go listen to her. She'll be live in 3 minutes in the chat room. TCGers, I'll copy and paste these notes as soon as I can over in the room. Pre-game crew, thanks for understanding that I couldn't make it yesterday with my stupid internet, but I'm glad y'all are here today. Hit that like button before you leave and use stop losses. And I'm not going to say it in the microphone and scare G and use stop losses.